What's going on, y'all, and welcome back to another Etheria restart video. Sorry this is a little bit late on the news, but there are some insane updates that I gotta share with y'all. And my voice is a little tired, just wrapped up an 8-hour casting event on another game. But here we are. I'm so excited to talk about the recent announcement made by the Etheria devs, the Etheria publishers, the Discord, all of that. And it kind of addresses all the stuff that we've been talking about. 2x event, addressing maybe the situation with some of the hot fixes, the shadow nerfs, blah, 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 all that stuff. I think you guys are going to like what you hear. So if you haven't seen already, stay tuned. Let's go ahead and jump straight into it. Thank you so much for tuning in. Alrighty, I opened up the Discord. I didn't read this fully as I was kind of busy at the time, but I got a bunch of messages saying what happened. Took a quick glance, and let's go ahead and just read this all together real fast. So, first announcement came in at 11:50 p.m. my time, almost midnight, but it says, a letter to all hyperlinkers, recent changes and future plans. Dear hyperlinkers, first, we extend our serious apologies to all the players who love and support us for the discussions and concerns sparked by recent in-game adjustments. Over the past few days, we have received substantial feedback regarding the recent balance changes. We deeply understand that these adjustments did not fully consider your gaming experience and expectations, and there were shortcomings in both communication and execution, which caused distress and concern. We value every player's voice immensely, and we apologize for not managing the matter appropriately. We have given this issue careful consideration. I think this is really well said, eloquent, and they're kind of, taking responsibility. Not everything was their fault, right? Players assuming 2x event, myself included. I did tell y'all about it. I did try to, say it wasn't for sure coming. But everything else in terms of oversights on bugs getting through and then having to get hotfixed on the day of after people invested. I have been saying on my streams that I really wish, for any units invested in that got kind of changed, that kind of got bug fixed. Let's say Shadow Sonya, Shiata, and Veronica, for example. If you did play them, maybe allow a reset for the units affected. But let's keep going. We solemnly pledge to take the following measures. Balance adjustments. All right, this is a big one. To provide a more stable and predictable gaming experience, we have decided that major balance adjustments, including characters, equipment, and core gameplay, will be strictly scheduled during the fixed window between the end of an RTA season and the start of the new one. Okay, interesting. I remember hearing people talk about this. I thought it was actually the arena season, but it makes more sense that it's RTA. I think that's going to be a bigger deal. This means that during an ongoing season, we'll avoid large-scale balance changes that impact core gameplay, except for emergency fixes for critical bugs. That's the ones that kind of happen right now, where they're not direct or indirect, like nerfs or buffs to the kits. But, sometimes they will get affected. Like Veronica, for example, could be considered a nerf as it was a direct change to her. But something like Shiata, where she may just get less effective in the Doki Doki threshold, not quite a direct change, right? More impact on core gameplay. But I've kind of been telling players that, a lot of people think D-Ting is on the chopping block. And I told them, at least for now, until the RTA season, or sorry, I just said arena season ends, PvP season ends, that most likely we won't see a buff or a nerf. Because, I've been hearing about that quite a bit. Blessing Galore event optimization. We have been closely monitoring our enthusiasm for the Blessing Galore events and appreciate the valuable suggestions provided during the testing phase. After carefully listening to your feedback, we have decided to launch an exclusive Blessing, they mistyped here, but Galore event. The exclusive Blessing Galore is set to start on June 21st. Okay, so that's going to be in about a week and will last for 2 days. So guys, what that means, I hope a lot of y'all didn't rip a ton of stamina capsules, because my last video, and I know a lot of other people were saying that at least for the month of June, that, Etheria kind of confirmed that there's no events. This is kind of a impromptu apology reward. So I think most of y'all did probably spend a few here and there. Not a big deal. We have a week to kind of save up and get a little bit more. I know I pushed personally towards the level 50 mark here. I can show y'all. We're in a match, but I did end up using some stability capsules to go ahead and push that 50 Inferno mark. For you guys, I would say in the beginning, if you were trying to push 40 for Ethernet Rally, the big milestones are like 45 for the Hoyan Shells, and then 50 for Inferno Shells, and Rengo Kotsu, which I am farming right now, right here. But with it coming as soon as a week, I would advise to save the rest of your stability capsules, assuming there's no cap, which means let's go ahead and keep reading. Is there anything else to this? In addition to expressing our apologies, we have prepared the following rewards for all hyperlinkers. Redemption code. Oh, cool. Redemption code. And we get a stabilizer. All right, that'll help up. Make sure you guys save these up. 10 summons and Etheria coins. Very nice. All right, I like it. Once again, though, this is only going to be a 2-day event, and I wonder if this means all 3 of these are going to happen at once. I'm going to give it some thought. Before, it was actually like investigation into GP outpost and then finally threshold. Now it sounds like we're going to have to decide if they're all running at once. you're gonna have to really pick and choose which one you need the most. For some of you guys, it might be you want a lot of the Animus XP because you get double summon drops as well, double blue shadow prints. Threshold is a clear and easy answer for those of you that are power gamers that really want to get the double drops. This is going to be for those of you that are already clearing Hell 4 and especially Inferno. I think this is going to be a big one. GP Outpost, I'll probably spend a little bit time in, and I would advise everybody, right, to kind of build up your materials. Maybe don't spend the entire day and don't spend all your capsules, but I think farming up a good stock of the different element types, you know, red, blue, green, light, and dark, and kind of having a good, you know, stock hold. Because, you know, as we progress, we're going to have to build up a lot of other units. And right now is the most efficient time to get the double drop rate. So very big kudos to Etheria. I actually didn't think this was going to happen. I honestly thought they were kind of just keep quiet overall. And guys, we're not done yet. 2 hours later, while I was still casting the other gaming event, there was another update. It says, Dear Hyperlinkers, after carefully considering player feedback, we acknowledge that the primary request is for a reset option. All right, that's kind of what I mentioned at the start. I'm glad it's happening. The updated Animus reconfiguration event includes 3 resets. The first reset is free, while the next 2 require a certain amount of Hydra crystals. I'm assuming it's going to be like in the actual event where it's 200, 400. And they're saying this entire event will last 7 days. Very, very nice. Not only does this not just target, you know, those affected units, the Veronica, the Shadow Sonya. This is going to affect everybody, and you can kind of just have, at least for everyone, 1 free summon, or sorry, 1 free reset and 2 additional. Come stop by my streams. We're going to theory craft on what we should be, you know, maybe resetting. I can help you guys out. A lot of people, you know, this is going to be in a week, so things could change heavily in a week on, oh, actually, excuse me. So the double drop event is happening on June 21st, but the reset event is happening pretty much very soon here in about a day's time. If you guys, as of you guys watching this. So once again, if you can stop by the live streams, I'll help you guys decide. For example, I was about to say, one of the biggest things I think a lot of people made a mistake on is building their Heinrich and investing him fully too early. Now, Heinrich, I understand, guys, is a very strong unit, and he's someone that I'm very jealous that a lot of y'all have because I do not own him yet. However, for early game progression, at least right now, trust me on this, this is only applies for right now. In a week's time, in a month's time, things could change drastically. But compared to like the beta, I think he's kind of taken a backseat for early progression. The buffs to like bosses like Terramaton means sometimes we need to bring other units. And now that we have Holden and other units that can strip on top of that too, I think he's going to be more of a late game, a little bit more niche, maybe mainly PvP, things like that. Right now, I think you are hurting your progression by building them too early. So this is just one example of something you could reset and in exchange build up one of the other, you know, more solid units like Kloss. That's just good for overall just general progression. Units that I can use really everywhere. That's one of the bigger examples that I've seen of, you know, a useful reset. Of course, if you missed out on like Lian, whatever it might be, for my example, I think I might go ahead and reset. What did I invest into that I'm now ready to let go of? I might want to get some modules back, especially the purple lattices. I think I overinvested into units like Viper just slightly. I kind of messed up my prowess, so I could use up my free, as you see, 542 here. I could use that free reset and fix that up. But overall, I'm still going to debate and decide. I might, you know, potentially even reset my real Mocha. This could be something for you guys too, and instead use a different unit. Like maybe I try to get my Solo Messiah. That way I could just save up and you know, gather back my 4 lattices here that I invested, and instead build Real Mocha later if I really want. That's just another option too. I probably won't do it because Real Mocha makes Inferno so easy, but just kind of considering the options. We want to take care. We want to make use of every single event the game gives us and take full advantage. All right, guys, I think that's about it, and we'll wrap up the video. I'm very excited. Make sure you claim that code. Look forward to the double drop event. Do not use any more stabilizers. And let's start planning out where we're going to be rocking the 2 days, all right? Use those 2 days very wisely. We're going to be farming a lot. I hope they don't cap it. It doesn't sound like they are. I know some people were talking about maybe they should, you know, limit maybe like 10 stabilizers or no stabilizers at all. But it looks like we could spend up to, you know, 30 plus stabilizers plus 10 refreshes a day. So we can really min-max this. Start marking it down. Put in your calendar. June 21st. Double investigation. That includes double summon drops, double blue shadow prints, double of all the threshold drops. So if you're in like an Inferno Doki, start farming up that Swift Rush gear, that really, really juicy stuff where you get double drops. And then last but not least, everybody should probably farm some GP Outposts, especially in the elements that you are lacking. All right, guys, very excited, but I got to go get some rest. Thank you so much, all of you, every single time for watching. and I'll catch you all in the next one. Peace out, everybody.